rate, highest in the next-gen stats era by 3 percentage points. They've also allowed an explosive run, so 10 plus yards, on 23% of outside rushing attempts, highest in the next-gen stats era. And New England, since week 9, which is when TreVeyon Henderson first started, they're averaging 1.4 rushing yard over expected per outside run, second most in the league. They're averaging 0.13 EPA per outside rush, third most, and 5 yards after contact per outside rush, the most in the NFL. Bottom line, have the Giants keeping it closer than expected, 26-19, but a little bit closer, in part because of the Pats adjusting to no left tackle Bill Campbell, and in part because the Giants are a better team than their record indicates, especially with Jackson Dart back. So the one to watch here, it's Dart to earn at least 26 rushing yards. He has 317 on the season, along with 7 rushing touchdowns. That is tied for the third most among quarterbacks. I think that touchdown is a fun call too, since he has at least one in 5 straight games, which is the longest streak by a rookie ever. Let's have a look at the confidence rankings for this week. You will see some L's on the Thursday, which make me very unhappy, but we are back and better than ever for this Sunday matchup. Okay, on to the next set of games. Another pretty creative title here, if I do say so myself. It's matchups you don't see very often, and we'll start with Atlanta at New York, as in the Jets. The Falcons are 2.5-point road favorites. The total in this one, 39.5 points. My model says Atlanta wins 22-17. Let's do some trivia first. The Jets defense is the only defense with 0 interceptions this season. All other teams have at least 3. They're actually the only defense in NFL history with 0 interceptions through the first 11 games of the season. And they're the first team in NFL history with 1 or fewer takeaways in their first 11 games. Maybe not the best history ever if you're a Jets fan, but moving on. Let's talk about Atlanta's defense. They have a 43% blitz rate, second highest in the league, and they allow the 4th fewest EPA per dropback when blitzing at -0.21. Tyrod Taylor is averaging 6 yards per attempt against the blitz this season. That is 8th fewest. Should be a qualified quarterback. Doesn't have enough passes yet. And he has a -0.47 EPA per dropback against the blitz, which would be 4th fewest. Bottom line, I have the Falcons defense as the highest ranking unit in this game. They do have the 3rd most sacks with 39 and 5 games with at least 5 sacks. Atlanta's defense drives a 3-point win at 20-17. The one to watch here, it's Bijan Robinson, had at least 4 receptions. Robinson has 3 games with at least 150 scrimmage yards, which is tied for the most in the NFL. 2 red teams are next, as in Arizona at Tampa Bay. The Bucs are 3.5-point home favorites. The total 44.5. My model says 26-22 in favor of the home team. Little asterisk as of right now. Jacoby Brissett will be NFL 314.5 passing yards per game as a starter. That's the most by Arizona since 1970. He's also been pressured on 41.1% of his dropbacks and has a -0.58 EPA per dropback when pressured, which is 6th fewest this season. The Bucs, they have a 39% pressure rate, the 4th highest in the league. Bottom line, and the reason for the asterisk is, as of right now, it looks like Baker Mayfield is trending toward playing, and Bucky Irving is no longer on the injury report, which means he is playing, and that drives my Bucs winning projection with a score of 26-22 being most likely. The one to watch here is Irving to rush for at least 40 yards in his return. He missed the last 7 games with foot and shoulder injuries, just so we can all be on the same page here, but he still leads Tampa Bay with 59.3 rushing yards per game and 107.5 scrimmage yards per game. And here's the part I really like. He forced him to tackle on 36% of his touches, the highest rate in the league. So 40 yards feels like a very achievable amount on the ground. San Francisco travels to Cleveland, where they are 4.5-point favorites. The total in this one, 37.5 points. My model says the Niners win 21-16. I feel like it is mandatory to do a Shedeur Sanders note. Does that not feel correct to everyone? Doesn't matter. I get to choose this card. Shedeur Sanders used play action on 1/3 of his dropbacks in week 12, and he had 10 yards per play when using play action passes. However, it's going to be hard to do that in this one because the Niners have allowed a -8% completion percentage over expected to play action this season. That's actually 3rd lowest in the league, along with just a 44% dropback success rate to play action, which is 9th lowest in the league. Bottom line, despite Myles Garrett alone having 5 more sacks with 18 than the entire Niners team, who has 13, I have a 5-point win for San Francisco, 21-16. The one to watch here is also a huge factor in why the Niners win, and that's Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown. My pick for Offensive Player of the Year has 5 games with 30-plus touches, and that's more than all of the players combined because they only have 4 such games. Here's your trivia. Only the Hall of Famer Jerry Rice with 85 receptions in 1995 has more catches in the first 12 games of the Niners season than McCaffrey was 81. Let's do weekly wildcards this week, as in 5 guys who are maybe underrated, maybe considered by some to be sleepers, surprise picks, etc. We get ahead of the curve here, outlining the guys who forecast to have bigger than expected games, elevated end zone reaching odds this particular week. Here's our list. Number 1, Chargers wideout Keenan Allen against the Raiders. Allen has the highest third down target rate, 37%, among all Chargers players this season, and on them, he's caught a league-leading 22 receptions on 35 targets, with 259 yards and a touchdown. His 20 first downs on 3rd down also leads the NFL. Number 2, Giants tight ends Ian Johnson and Daniel Bellinger had opportunities against the Pats. Since Malik Neighbors was lost to injury, the G-Men played 12 personnel on 48% of their snaps. That's the highest rate in the league, and they've averaged 6.2 yards per play with it, which is 6th most. Johnson has 13 receptions of 10-plus yards. That's 2nd most among tight ends, and Bellinger has the 3rd highest rate of downfield targets at 53% at the position. My model gives us a touchdown edge to Johnson, but either could be good DFS or fancy picks. Number 3, Seahawks receiver Rashid Shaheed against the Vikings. The Seahawks' top 2 highest 11 personnel usage rates have occurred over their past 2 games, which is when they added